Well, peace, everyone. Move. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Get something burning. Let me burn something. Greetings. Hey, y'all. Hey. Peace as everybody is coming in. Ashay, peace. All right, so I've been having a lot of questions and inboxes, and typically this is the number one question that is always asked is about relationships. Um, I always have a group of people. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to not get messed with by Isis. Isis is being very pickish today. She's in a space where she wants to be very pickish. Um, but yeah, I always have readings dealing with relationships. The number one question is always dealing with love, finances, and what's my purpose, um, or whatnot. And I wanted to kind of address relationships because I've been posting a lot about that too recently. And I always get into a space where the biggest part that I see is us not taking the time to do the self work. When we don't take that time to do our personal work, to be very intentional about healing, and this is in anything that we do, not just intimate relationships. This is relationships with friends, our relationships with our family, our relationships with our children. And it's not to say that you can't have somewhat of a functioning relationship with these people, but we have to understand that it does affect our relationships with these people when we are not being very intentional about the work that we need to do on our self, our mirror work, our inner child work, our shadow work. It's going to affect our loved ones in some shape or form. This is why you were affected possibly by your parents, by a sibling, by a caretaker. So the key element, whether you are operating in the profession of being a healer, whether you are in this intimate relationship, hold on, go, go. She done started knocking stuff off my table. Move. Telling you I'm about to auction her off. Now you can't get to none of them. Stay off the table. Anyway, when we're not being intentional about our own, no matter what it is, specifically when we are getting other people involved. So, yes, that means our intimate relationship. Yes, that means when we are operating as a healer, it is going to have some interesting effects and challenges. The key part is for us to know that we have to be diligent and disciplined about being um, whole, about healing, about walking in alignment with our higher self. And I'm not saying that you're going to get that overnight. You're not going to come in the world with the sense of knowing. We come in the world very innocent. This is a learned behavior that we've created at this point. a learned dysfunctional behavior for some of us. So, what do you need to do? I always get the question like, y'all will ask me some of the most blatant stuff sometimes. People will ask me like, well, he's doing this, this, and this, or she's doing this, this, and this. You know that it is a blatant sign of disrespect to who you are. You know that it's creating friction and chaos to who you are. But instead of you operating in your own self love, your ideal or your choice is to sit in it, to still be a victim of whatever that circumstance is. And that's the part that you have to explicit, like really get into this discipline area. And I understand that it's hard because when we are wanting, we're naturally as humans, this spirit encapsulated in the flesh, this experience that we're experiencing, we want to be loved. We want to have this companionship. And sometimes that comes at a sacrifice of ourselves, but that doesn't make it right. There's got to be a sense where, and I say this all the time, that you love yourself more. Somewhere you have to trigger something that says, is this really a reflection of my own self love? Peace, beloved. And 9 times out of 10, when we really are honest with ourselves, the answer is no. 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, when we go back to look at those relationships that didn't work out, that time when that throat chakra was a little extra open, that time frame where, somebody probably done took you all the way to the edge, you have to really be honest with yourself and say, what did I do at that moment in time that made me receptive to this situation? What space was I in? Where was I being triggered? One of the things that I used to look at is in like my relationships, I would be, did I listen to myself when that red flag was going up? Did I listen to myself when my intuition was telling me this person don't have a sense of self-love? Did I listen to myself when I was hearing things, or did I sit there and rationalize or justify that person's actions because I didn't want to deal with the truth? That always has been my, ooh, you ain't listen. Now you got to deal with the repercussion. Now you're dealing with these consequences because you left the gate open, as I like to say. You left the gate open. So now because you left the gate open, we here. We here. So this is a time frame where I feel like, especially if you are walking in this journey, no matter where you are at in your journey, be honest with yourselves. Be truthful with yourself. Be in a space where you are willing to put, and I put up a video about terms and conditions. I love that particular insight that brother shared because, like he said, we'll have terms and conditions on our phones, terms and conditions when we buy a house, terms and conditions when we get a car. But when we decide to make these intimate connections, now you ain't got no terms and conditions. When you decide to open up your spirit and your soul, now we don't have no terms and conditions. When you decide as a woman to open your legs, now you ain't got no terms and conditions. You took more energy and due diligence before you decided to purchase a vehicle, before you decided to let this brother come inside of you. I'm just saying. We're going to go all the way real tonight. Somebody ain't going to like me. I'll probably get blocked or deleted or something. That's how serious it is. And because of the society that we live in, they have made it where it's like, oh, we screaming sexual liberation and we all on that bandwagon and da 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 da. And I'm like, that's a catch 22. Because it's not to say that you can't be liberated, but it's also not to say that you should be dealing with any and everyone because you are opening up something that is, this is your temple. One minute we screaming that we a goddess and this is our temple, but the next minute we sit here talking about we liberated. So it's okay for us to have sex with whoever. I'm just saying. And I'm not even saying this from no judgmental space. I done been there. I wasn't even screaming sexual liberation. It wasn't even about it. It was just about the fact that I was like, I think I need some. This is, yeah, I can't do it. I'm gonna need that. We all have that person that we can call. I'm just saying. You all got that one in your phone that you know when you single. Some of y'all, when y'all ain't single, but you can pick up the phone and they that one. But not really sitting in it and saying, damn, doing more due diligence and putting energy on researching what type of car I'm buying and putting energy on what type of house I'm gonna live in and putting energy even on somebody like me that's like maybe more conscious about what I put in my body from a food. I'm more conscious about what I'm putting in my body from a food perspective before I put that toxic ass dick in my body. I'm just saying. Now it's different, but still, there was a moment that we are able to hide behind this title of spirituality, this title of being a goddess, this title of being a certain type of dynamic. And I still see people do it. Like we want to, well, don't tell people how they're supposed to heal. Well, who the hell don't tell you? So I'm going to still let you run around doing this hurt people shit and not say nothing. That don't make sense. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of this politically correct. But yeah, we not dogmatic shit. That's crazy. It's too much. I'm tired of being in a space where we're not really putting truth on the table and that we're too scared to deal with our truth. They probably ain't all de-escalation issues on everything. Y'all getting feedback. See, I ain't even had this noise before. They about to block me. Look, that lets you know they about to block me. I don't have nothing running. Nothing different than before. Stop. Just stop. That lets you know if I don't be, look, if I don't be on social media tomorrow, y'all know they done block my account. And Channel Hive, you know how they like to do me. Soon as I talk about something serious, boy, they be ready to block my behind. Okay. All right, good. So yeah, we got to be in a space that we start to deal with our truth. We start to put our truth on the table. Okay. We start to put our truth on the table and really look at it. And I always talk about this. And let's say you already in a relationship. Let's say you already in a relationship. Because a lot of people be like, damn, I know I got all this healing to do. I got all this shit to unpack out my closet. So, okay, what do I do? Because now I'm already knee deep in this relationship.
That means you be honest that you knee deep. Okay? That you got to be honest and say, whoever this person you're in a relationship with, make sure that y'all are taking the time to be patient with each other. That y'all both are on a spiritual journey together. That you both are being very intentional about your own personal healing. If that man or that woman is not being intentional about their growth and about their personal healing, you don't need to be in no relationship with them in the first place. That ain't the person you're supposed to be with anyway. Let's be real. You have to be willing to say, what do I need to pause? Even if that's telling you, like, you know what, baby? We're going to have to take a break because I need to deal with this. I need to get myself in alignment. I need some time to just work on me and focus on me. Because I can't love you the way you deserve to be loved if I don't know how to love myself. And that's where it really comes down to. We're going into relationships talking about we love these people, but we don't know how to love ourselves. We don't even understand what self-love is. And some of us luck up and have a very amazing mate that is patient with us through the process. They're consistent at being who they're supposed to be in our lives. But some of y'all got in toxic relationship because you were toxic yourself. And when we get in these toxic relationships, because we are toxic, that's when we got to be honest and start really pulling that shit out the closet for real. This one you really need to start unpacking them suitcases and being okay with being by yourself. Stop feeling like you got to be so thirsty or hungry for this relationship. Know and trust that the universe has something amazing waiting for you. A lot of times we so scared to get out of that relationship. We so scared to leave that person because we think that, you know, a piece of a man is better than no man at all. A piece of a woman is better than no woman at all. That's some bull. That's some bull. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be the one to lie to you and be like, girl, just, no, don't hold on to that piece of man. Don't hold on to that piece of man. Don't hold on to that piece of woman. Quit feeling like you have to settle. A lot of times we have to be in the space that we understand that we are settling. You're selling yourself short. And you know that if I told you I got $1 million for you, all I need you to do is complete this 9-month course. I had $1 million at the end of this 9-month course. You just got to finish it with honors. Instead, you stop short at 7.5 months and just be like, wow, I'm going to just stop here because it's too much. And I'm okay with this, what I've gotten thus far. Let's say you was getting a stipend every month. You'd be like, you know what? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this $500,000. I don't need that $1 million. Yeah. So you're going to sell yourself short? Because what our priorities is retarded. Our priorities and stuff that mean superficial stuff, the superficial shit, is where our priorities be. Our priorities be in a space that it don't even serve us in the long term. That it has nothing to do with us when we transition. We can't take that with us. We didn't learn nothing from that. It might have made this earthly experience a little better because you drove that Mercedes or that Bentley or whatever it is that you want. It might have made this earthly experience better because you lived in that, you know, immaculate house. But you can't take that with you when you transition. So we have to start focusing, and I feel like this is the missing element in our communities and our relationships, is that we're not focused on our love for ourselves. We're not focused on our spiritual dynamic. We're not focused on the things that we can actually take with us. We're not focused on the things that actually transitions when we transition. You see what I'm saying? We're not focused on the things that are actually going to leave a legacy for real. Because I promise you, I don't care if you was like a billionaire. If you died, ain't nobody going to miss your ass. Maybe the people you were taking care of going to miss your ass. That's about it. Your immediate circle. It's not going to have that much of an impact on the world. And once again, you can't take it with you. You can't. Now, y'all know, let me be clear. I'm not about to be the poor righteous teacher. I don't believe in y'all being broke either. I don't believe in that. I feel like if you say you God, then you better walk in it. You should know that you know how to manifest anything that you need to manifest on this particular realm. Period. Stop. But you do have to have balance and understand what you really should be holding as a priority. And one of those major things to me is definitely like making sure that we're walking in our own healing. We're being very intentional about our healing. Quit damn sweeping things under the rug. Quit putting stuff in the damn closet. Quit feeling like I'll deal with it tomorrow. Women, stop acting like y'all super women. I'm all for y'all being the super goddess. Y'all got the strength of like Sekhmet. I get it. But stop operating in your dysfunction. I see it happen more with women than I see any other aspect. Women have a bad habit, especially melanated women. We have a bad habit because we've been forced in this position to actually feel like we can't stutter step. You go through a divorce, you ain't even processing the divorce. You ain't missing a beat. You already almost in a whole damn new relationship before the damn ink dry on your divorce papers. You over here working your whole little self to death. You done took up kickboxing, yoga, and something else. And black girls can run. And you raising kids. And you doing whatever else it is you doing. And you're not taking the time to process your trauma. We're not taking the time to go to therapy. We're not taking the time to deal with our real trauma. And instead of us taking the time to deal with it, we'll sit there and put it in one of them boxes in the back of the closet. So when that box somehow tips over 5 years down the line, you like, where does box come from? It's that box you ain't deal with. Stop overlooking your trauma. Stop wanting to hide or feel like you're so strong that you don't have to deal with it. It is a time frame because you are in this journey. Be very intentional. Understand everything requires a grieving process. Understand that you need to take time to deal with whatever the trauma is. Even if you don't look like, oh, I was over that relationship before it ended. Okay, that's good. But when the dust settles and you behind closed doors and you waking up crying at night, but you don't know why. It's because you're not dealing with your trauma. You're not understanding even the pattern that you might have been repeating from dealing with that same type of energy over and over and over and over again. It's the same dude coming to show you the same damn lesson. The same person coming to show you the same lesson, but you don't want to learn it. I always tell people, like, when I see a woman being super busy, she always got 100 things going on. And I know you specifically been going through some trauma. I was like, ooh, that's going to blow up in her face. Like, I wait for it. I can give her all the messages. I'll be like, sis, you know you need to sit down. You know you need to take some time. In my mind, I'll be like, it don't be a week. We're not taking a month. You need to take some time. You coming out of these relationships, jumping into new relationships, nah, boo. You need to take some time. Take some time to be by yourself. Take some time to detox that energy out of you. You done been in a relationship for however long with that person. You need to take some time to do some cord cutting, some detoxing, some spiritual baths, some candle burning, whatever it is you need to do to make sure that you have completely not only cleansed your mental, but your spiritual of that person. We're not even doing our due diligence with that. That's like being and I know it's probably somebody that's doing this, but that's like being that new mama. This used to always frustrate me. You just had a baby, but you already out the very next week with your baby out in this, as the old folks say. You're behind all open. My grandma used to be like, you out here with your behind all open, then you just had that baby. Like, no. We are in a society that wants to have us on fast forward all the time, that wants to have us in rush mode all the time, that has us in hustle mode all the time. Stop it. Take a couple of moments. Work on yourself. Take some time. Read some books. Meditate. Do some prayer work. Be very intentional on, I need to reset myself and my own spirit. And I need to take time. You need at least a month just to reevaluate when that relationship ended. When that relationship ended, you need a month just to say, let me pay attention to what I actually repeated. What did this relationship show me? What was the purpose of this relationship? Because it came to teach you a lesson. That was a part of your soul tribe coming into your life. Soul tribe don't mean just your divine connections. Soul tribe also mean our karmic experiences. So we're not taking the time when we break up with someone, when we get a divorce with someone, when we end even a sexual relationship with someone, to really just sit with it and say, what did this person why were they in my life? Even if it is a sexual relationship, they might have just came to show you how to be more in touch with your body, more in tune with what you like sexually. There's levels to all of it. It doesn't matter who the person was, but you do need to be very clear and be very honest on what did that dynamic teach you at this moment in time. It might have came to teach you that you can't separate your emotions from your sex. I'm trying to keep my mouth as clean as possible. I promise I am. Okay? Whatever it came to show you, you have to even at least take the time to do that. And you cannot do that overnight. You can't do that. I done seen people jump out of relationships and be in a whole brand new relationship in less than a month. Or be in that space where I can't wait till I get my divine mate or my soul mate. You just got out of a relationship. You ain't even had time to be by yourself. What you in a rush for? Stop feeling like y'all got to rush to get to this destination. You ain't rushing to get to no finish line. Peaceful lovers, everyone that just came in. There's not a rush to get to this so-called destination. The more we are whole with ourselves, the more we are in tune with ourselves, I feel like the quicker you can have that gravitational pull. Now let's be clear, because I could even speak. I'll even speak from my own personal experience. I remember when I was doing my 3-year hiatus, and when I was starting to get into a space where I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to date, I still was pulling energy that was from my brokenness. That was a test to see how firm I was in my discipline. How firm was I in what it was that I said that I wanted? How committed was I to what I said that I wanted? And the universe is sneaky. Ooh, it's sneaky. Listen, beloved, it's sneaky. And my Chiron in the house of relationships, so it's super sneaky. And I was like, well, damn. Y'all know my favorite line. I've been drinking my water. I've been eating my greens. Damn it. I'm getting alkaline out here. I'm meditating. I'm embracing my purpose. How did I get him? How did this dude show up in my cipher? How did he become a option? How y'all even put him in my path? Now, the great thing about when I was in that space was I was able to see things. So I learned very early to be in a space where I pay attention. I let stuff breathe. I always tell people, let it breathe. Because that initial feeling, that initial chemistry, that initial, ooh, he smell good, whatever it might be. Ooh, he's so smart. That real person come out when you let it breathe. And I started seeing things. And I will allow that person to hang themselves. I'm not going to say nothing. I already see what it is. The difference is that I'm listening now. When I was younger, I wasn't listening. When I was younger, I would hear direct, this is what's wrong with that person. And my special self would be like, oh, maybe I'm being too hard, or maybe I'm asking for too much. I even let other people convince me that I was asking for too much. I remember my mentor even told me one time, they was like, damn, you want somebody like Jesus. You want Jesus. I don't even think Jesus could meet your requirements. And I was like, yeah, I low-key think I want somebody that's a little bit better than Jesus. So I'm thinking that's what I'm requiring right now. Your power got to be a little bit stronger than that. But it was me understanding who I was, me understanding my value, me understanding my worth, and not allowing other people to tell me that I deserve less than that. And really listening. And then still seeing, okay, what am I not paying attention to? And I love my mate dearly. He'll tell you, he loves me dearly. But I still be like, I wasn't listening. He tell you all the time, I'm the biggest one to be like, oh, I wasn't listening. They told me specifically what I was supposed to do in this situation. I was hard-headed as hell. And when you are hard-headed, when Spirit is telling you something directly, when Spirit comes to you and say, don't do this, don't move on this, don't da-da-da-da. When they tell you something directly and you want to be disobedient, be prepared for the challenges. So for us, maybe one day we'll come on here and do a live together. For us, because I was being disobedient, I always tell him it didn't have nothing to do with him. It had all to do with that I walk with Spirit on a regular basis. So I knew specifically what I was supposed to do. I was being hard-headed as hell as usual. I am that child that want to touch the damn stove to see if it's hot. So when we had to experience what we needed to experience, it was like, okay, we wouldn't have went through this if my ass would have been disciplined and listened. I was being fast, as my mama would say. You being fast. You was being fast. Okay? So you have to be in a space that y'all pay attention to the signs, to the messages that's being sent to you. Quit feeling like this thing is not divine. Everything that you do, especially when you are operating in a spiritual dynamic, that means that you decided that you want to, get more into your spiritual self, that you are on this journey to be better. Everything you do is spiritual. Every sign, every message. Don't take it for granted. Don't look at stuff and, like I said, second guess it. Don't put so much more energy into your food choices, but you ain't putting the damn same energy into your mate. You sit here being picky about whether or not you buy organic or GMO, but y'all out here letting these GMO type of dudes deal with you, or these GMO type of chicks come into your life and then want to come and want to read it from me 3 months later, 2 months later, however much later, to help you navigate your way through it. No. I'm not going to help you navigate way through it, because you knew when you got in the situation that they was not the one. Y'all have to get to a space that you pay attention to your authority. Your authority is your intuition. Your intuition tells you direct messages every time. Listen. Y'all will even justify it. You will even completely straight out say, I know I ain't supposed to be dealing with nobody right now because I'm working on my healing. I know I shouldn't be focused on this because I'm trying to focus on building my business. I know I ain't. Okay, well, if you know, then why you doing it? But this is just a little fun for right now. Okay. Let that fun, let that recess moment get your ass caught. Let that recess moment get you in trouble. Because then y'all the ones that are, now sitting here heartbroken, now sitting here boo-hooing because you done got yourself in a situation and you feeling stuck. Or you done got yourself in a situation that you are attached to and don't want to walk away. Right, Enchanted? I'll be the main one, like, don't come to me with that. You ain't listening. You weren't listening. And I say this in a space, y'all. I'm not saying this from a very judgmental space, beloveds. I'm saying this from a space that everything that y'all done did, I promise you I done did it too. Listen, I done been there. I done been the chick that stayed in the relationship thinking it was going to get better, knowing I should have been gone at day one. I done been in the relationship where one of my biggest things when I was younger was I would consistently be in relationships where that dude loved me more than I loved him. And I used to mentally think, well, maybe it's something wrong with me. Why I'm not into him the same way he into me. I used to have, and I still do, I always attract men who are more obsessed with me than I am with them. I can walk away at any moment because I don't have an attachment. Do I have a love for them? Absolutely. But am I attached to anything? Hell no. You ain't come in the world with me. So I got all these damn kids. Like, I'm keeping it all the way honest. That's why I got all these kids. Listen, I am telling you from experience. I am telling you from experience because I don't want y'all walking into the same damn walls. I don't want y'all, going through unnecessary pain. And you don't have to. It is simple. No matter what it is that you are trying to do with your life, no matter what it is that you want to experience in this lifetime. It's really about, how do I love myself? And is this choice that I'm about to make a reflection of my self-love? There's no other part to that. That's why I always tell y'all, it's black and white. We like to create the gray area because it makes us feel good about the choices that we make that's fucked up. But the real is, it's black and white. It's like, am I going to drink a bottle of water? Or am I going to smoke some crack? It's black and white. I'm pretty sure that I know this bottle of water is better for me than me smoking crack. I'm just saying. And in y'all mind, like, I'll hear people be like, that's extreme. That's extreme. No, it's not. It's real. If I end up dealing with this dude that's an F-boy, he blatantly, I know he is. I know he don't work in his own self-love. I know he not operating in his own self-love. I know that he ain't doing what he's supposed to do. I know he ain't meditating. I know he ain't on the same journey as me. I know it. But we'll justify it. We think we superwomen. I can change him. No, you can't. He got to change on his own. He already got to be on that journey. Well, maybe when he see me doing what I'm doing, he'll come around and then, no, that's not your job. That's not your job. That's not your responsibility. Quit damn making stuff. Y'all women, and I know I was this person. I got the moon for it too. I was the romanticizer. I would see things from a romantic perspective. I would romanticize the situation instead of dealing with the truth. The truth is that you suck. You ain't shit. That's the truth. So instead of us dealing with the truth, we're going to be like, oh, but he got potential. But I see his potential. No. My men too. Lord, I love my men, but I've been listening to some of y'all stories and I'll be like, word, that's what you doing? So y'all love y'all. You know, I like to call them Reebok. Nothing against y'all if y'all like Reebok, right? But y'all love your Reebok chick. We're like, you knew what she wanted when she came to you. You knew what you was getting into. But you thought you was going to cultivate the earth. That's what you thought you was going to do. You thought you was going to be able to digmatize her. And she was going to turn into this amazing queen that you see her to be. No. She going to run them pockets. You mess with the wrong one that got a little knowledge of self, she really going to run your pockets. And knowledge pimp your ass. Stop it. Quit romanticizing people. Deal with their truth. Meet people where they're at. Understand where they're at. And then if they're not on your level, let their ass walk on out the door. Stop it. Stop coddling these women. Stop coddling these men. It's simple. Is it in alignment with your higher self? If when you ask that question and you can't answer it honestly, I don't care how good it is. I don't care how good they give head. I don't care what type of tricks they got in the bed. I don't care what their level of intelligence is even. I don't. How are they in alignment with you? How are they meeting your terms and conditions? Are they willing to meet your terms and conditions? Do you even have some terms and conditions for yourself? Are you even disciplined on what it is that you need to achieve for yourself before you even put somebody in the mix? Because what happens is, and this is why I say this, what happens is you end up having broken homes. Because we didn't want to be truthful. Because we don't want to be honest. We end up having these babies that are being raised with no fathers or mothers. Because I got a lot of guy friends that are raising their children by themselves. Because we were broken when we created these children. And now, a part of us is breaking a generational curse. But we're also creating one at the same time. And y'all don't even realize it. We be big on saying, oh, I'm breaking the generational curse. We the generational curse breakers. But not realizing that we creating generational curse at the same time. Why? Because you was operating in brokenness when you created that child. When you brought that child into the universe. So now they experiencing some of your pain. They experiencing some of their father's pain. They carry that in their DNA. So some of the anger that they come into the world with and don't know why they mad. That's your fault. That ain't their fault. Some of the clinginess that they come into the world with. Some of the dysfunction that they coming into the world with. That's your fault. That's not anybody else's fault. That's yours. So you got to take that bag. And we got to be in a space where we say, nah, let me deal with this now. Before I get in another relationship. Before I destroy another family. Because you might already be in a relationship. And I'm not telling you to, oh, now you got to go home. Or now you got to get off alive and break up with your man or your woman. What I am saying that y'all need to be honest. And make sure that if you're truly for each other's growth, you're taking the time to say, how do we build each other up? How do we aid in each other's healing? How do we aid in making sure we are in alignment with each other? Okay? And not be scared to just be by ourselves for a moment. The same way that I tell my healers, like you got to take this time to heal yourself first. Go through your own trauma first. Go through your own dysfunction first. Before you can get out here and start healing other people. Before you can get out here and, doing whatever you're trying to do for the people. Do what you need to do for you first. It should have been about you in the beginning. It shouldn't be about, I didn't come into the world knowing that this is what I would be doing, teaching or striving to guide people to a certain understanding. I didn't come into the world with that. I had so many other things that I was doing and that I was focused on. And then when I had my tower moments, I said, oh, hell no. What we not going to do is go through a whole nother year doing this. What I'm not going to do is create this dysfunction over and over and over and over again in my life. So we get ready to get this truth serum and work on it. And as I was working on it, and my mentors that been telling me what I was supposed to be doing for years. I've been hearing this since I was 18. I've been in around a certain amount of mentorship since I was 18. I kept my sneakers on until I was 40. So that let y'all know. I kept my sneakers on until I was 40 before I accepted the responsibility. because I had already created in my mind that it was too much. Wait a minute, let me get this right. Y'all telling me that you want me to do what? You want me to be who? I'm supposed to be doing, huh? That means I got to give up a whole lot of stuff. I don't know if I'm ready to give up that. Like, there's certain stuff that's in my lifestyle. I was like, I don't even go to the strip club like that. But you telling me I can't go to the strip club no more? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You telling me that the moments that I just want to have fun and hang out with my homeboys at the most ratchet, straight, in the gutter, dynamic, like I can't do that no more? That don't sound like y'all got the right person. I'm pretty sure y'all not talking to me. I'm telling you. Because it was, to me, the mindset of that I had to give up what I knew. 20 years. Took me 20 years to study. Not only myself, but 20 years of just educating. And so it don't have to take y'all that long. That's my whole point. It don't have to take you that long. It took me that long because I was hard-headed as hell. I didn't want to give up my lifestyle. Y'all got to understand, I came from a lifestyle where I was consistently around celebrities. I was consistently in a certain type of environment. And even though I still walk in a certain light, which is crazy, I still had people who came to me for advice. I still could be in the most ratchet place, literally, and they still treat me like a queen because of the aura and the energy that I carry. So even though I felt like I was going to lose a certain element, there was so much more to gain. And it wasn't necessarily that I had to lose. That was just my perspective. I felt like I had to give up something. You can do this from a different space. You don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be scared. Tell people all the time, like, just fully embrace who you are. Fully embrace your power. Enjoy this experience because you are here to master this level, this lifetime, for a reason. But also completely understand who you are and your power. And when you walk in that, then you'll know, nah, I ain't dealing with you because you stupid as hell. Nah, I ain't dealing with you because you ain't on my level. Nah, I ain't dealing with you because you toxic and you gonna give me some of your spirit demons. I don't need none of that issues. Nah, I ain't dealing with you because you gonna have my money fucked up. You have to be honest and know and disciplined enough to say, I can love you from a distance. I love you, but I'm going to have to love you from a distance because you are not in alignment with me. That's like I said, crack is my thing right now. Since we going with the crack road. I can't be a crackhead and still be hanging out at the crackhead house. Like, I can't be a recovering crackhead addict and still wanting to hang out with my buddies and my friends and in the environment that made me a crackhead in the first place. That don't make sense. A lot of y'all still holding on to friends and relationships and environments that you know are not in alignment with your higher self. And we'll tell ourselves, well, I want to be that voice for, a reason there. We create some type of bullshit line. No, you ain't got yourself together yet. You haven't fully recovered yourself. And because you haven't fully recovered yourself, you can't pull somebody else out the damn ditch. You can't be reaching back and you ain't got there to the destination yourself. You have to be fully grounded on your own 2 feet. You going through healing, I promise you, men and women will come out of the woodwork. When you are going through healing, men and women will come out of the woodwork, trying to holler, trying to, all of that. Hold on, let me read this. You said you had a photo of you taken. You was in Europe at the time. The 2 photos came out with some weird golden yellow squiggly lines. That could be spirits. Most of the time when we have, I always say energy can be seen when it wants to. Certain dynamics, if you got it at the right time, you'll always see energy specifically in photos. But that should be like, y'all should know that your ancestors and your spirit guides is consistently around you. Whether you feel it or not, they never leave you. They're never abandoning you. Somebody on watch at all times. That's why I be mad when y'all hear, you hear it. You'll hear, don't go left. And you still will go left. You'll hear specifically what you're not supposed to do, and y'all will still do it. That might have been that yellow puffing. That might have been that energy was stronger. It could be aura. Aura can be a little tricky to me. It depends on what the picture looked like. I'm trying to go back to see if I missed the question. All women think they can change a man and think they're better than a man. Wait a minute, who said that? Let me go back and catch your name on this one. Kevin. Kevin said all women think they could change a man and think they're better than a man. I ain't gonna answer the second part, because I don't want no war. I don't want no war with y'all. But with the first part, we all do. But all men think they could change a woman too. It's vice versa. It's on both sides. There is a duality that happens. Men feel like that if they do the right thing and they specifically use their love language, they feel like that it pulls you in. I've had a man try to trap me thinking that because he got me pregnant that I would stay, that would save our relationship. And I used to be like, I'm like a dude in that aspect. I'd be like, you don't see my track record. I would not stay with your ass if I feel like you create chaos and insanity in my life. I don't have no patience for that. None. At all. Whatsoever. I put the baby on my back and keep it moving. And I've always had my own stuff, so that probably didn't help either. I've always made my own money, had my own house, had my own cars. Was not struggling whatsoever. So you not put me in a predicament that was going to, jeopardize my livelihood. So it goes both ways. And we have to get out of that habit of thinking that we can change each other. I don't need to change you. First of all, if I'm trying to change you, let's be clear. If I'm trying to change you, I don't need to be in a relationship with you. Yes, send me the picture. Okay, y'all, it's count me down. I'm going to come back for a little bit longer, and then I'm getting off of here.